Hey y'all, so this one I'll have to split up into two just because it's got 12 pages, and then these two will probably have to be split up into maybe three a piece, but we'll see what we can do. But anyway, this is the JFK Files, part 28. So that means page 28 of the National Archives, like right here. And anyway, I just like going through these documents because it's just kind of fascinating to see the past and what was going on during that time. Because there was a lot more just besides JFK, Cuba, all the CIA involvement in everybody's business. I mean, I understand the purpose, but sometimes it's like it got a little out of hand, I think. But anyway, let's go on. So, to the chief, special affairs staff, chief of station, JM Wave, Operation Typic AM Trunk, and we just heard about that in the last video in part 28, verse or video 4, excuse me. Project AM Trunk operational review, priority, action, request headquarters decision on continuation or termination of Project AM Trunk. Attachment herewith is an operational review of and progress report on the AM Trunk team for the period of 4th through the 31st of March. Station views on the operation are summarized below. The AM Trunk operation has following disadvantages or weaknesses. The AM Trunkers admit to being a anti-Cubark, and if you've looked at the Cubark, that was counterintelligence, and that's basically CIA. Anyway, that's their code name is Cubark. I don't know why they have that weird cryptonym, but anyway, just there's other videos in the CIA files. Okay, so anyway, let's go on. So I guess this is Moreno. And to be working with Cubark now only because there was no other alternative if they were to accomplish their mission. In other words, these agents will cooperate with Cubark only when it is to their advantage. It is believed that if the operation were to develop, control would diminish rather than increase in the advanced stages of the operation, since the need for Cubark assistance will decrease as operational success increases. It is believed that AMICE 27 would have no hesitation selling out the operation to any of the major refugee political groups at any time that he felt it advantageous to do so. It is believed that if he is not already doing so, he's most likely to collaborate with either the Segundo Frente del Escambre, headed by Eloy Gutierrez Minoyo, or the MRP faction, headed by Manuel Rey. In the meantime, AMI's 27 will attempt to have this one have his own way with the operation. He believes that he is receiving a special attention because of his ZR metal connections, and he will not hesitate to go behind Q-Bark's back to AM Trunk 1, AM Cape 1, and OD Acid or higher authority if the operation or Q-Bark handling of the AM trunks does not progress to his liking. Since AM Trunk 1, according to AM Cape 1, masterminded this operation in the first place, it may be assumed that the AM Trunks will withhold nothing from AM Trunk 1. And then there's Volsky, we just saw his name in the other papers or the last video. Okay, so AM Trunk 1 in turn may be expected to keep AM Cape 1 fully informed. There is no Q-Bark control over AM Cape 1 or AM Trunk 1 or AM Cape 1. This operation has a very high flap potential. If any AM Trunk agents are picked up by the opposition in Cuba, not only will Q-Bark stand to suffer, but OD acid will be tied directly to it or to the operation, as may also Q flowage by whom AM Trunk 1 is employed at AM Cape 1 in his newspaper. The latter could prove to be most embarrassing and should be fully recognized as a possibility, if not a probability. In the event any of the AM Trunk team falls into Castro's hands, and this is, I guess, according to the New York Times. Okay. The security, hold on. So this AM Cape One, I wonder if it's the guy that was in the other one, the Thaddeus Zulk, because he was with the New York Times as well. It's kind of weird seeing how this stuff kind of pieces together. Okay, anyway, sorry. So, and see, the security of this operation has certain questionable aspects. At least 6 people were told about the operation in varying degrees prior to the time the team was safe housed. 2 of the agents, AMIS 27 and AMIS 14, did not satisfactorily resolve the question of their security during LC flutter tests. It is believed that AMIS 27 is withholding information of an unknown nature from its QBARC contacts. An undercurrent of friction was recently developed between AMIS 14 and AM Trunk 3, which manifested itself in a fistfight on 29th of March. This was precipitated by AM Trunk 3, who called AMIS 14 the Cuban term for a homosexual. The ultimate insult to a Cuban. This in turn gives rise to the question whether AMIS 14 is a possible history of homosexual activity. CUFGA 8411 has made such an approach to AM Trunk 3. Sorry, it's like, what are they fighting? What in the world? Anyway, I guess these people are not actually part of the agency. They just are being used by the agency. So, okay. Sorry. So the commitments made to AMIS 27, or which AMIS 27 claims were made to him, are a matter of concern to the station. This is an area over which future misunderstandings or aggravation might easily develop. The phase 1 landing point appears highly risky. It is within 5 miles of a cruise missile site radar and in an area frequently patrolled by sea. And this Rabel name, that was on one of the other videos. Okay, anyway, this operation appears possibly competitive with AM Leo, maybe 3 operations aimed also at penetrating high military levels for the same purpose. Given the lack of control in the AM Trunk operation, the possibility of the 2 operations crossing or targeting on the same individual will be present. In examining the strengths of the AM Trunk operation, the AM Trunk group as a whole represents superior agent material. 3 of the 4 have been outstanding in training. They appear to have a number of fairly well-placed contacts on the inside whom they expect to be able to call on for assistance, although they have been out of direct touch with a number of these contacts for periods ranging up to 2 years. This is frequently the case in this type of operation. The objective of the operation is worthwhile. Based on the attached operational review and the advantages and disadvantages outlined above, it is the recommendation of JM Wave Station that this operation be terminated at the earliest possible moment. Since this operation originated at the headquarters level, it is requested that headquarters advise JM Wave as to its decision. In the meantime, training and planning will continue. If headquarters' decision is to continue with the operation at this time, operational plans of the phase 1 and phase 2 will be, okay, there's something there, will be submitted as formulated. And then in the message, see directorate, I guess 31748. Okay, project AM Trunk operational review, status report on training and processing, 4th through the 31st of March. The AM Trunk team, consisting of AMIS 27, AMIS 14, AM Trunk 2 and AM Trunk 3 were safe housed on 4th of March, 1963 at safe site number 164 on Plantation Key. Andrew S. Palmer's KU Roar instructor from headquarters was already at the training site when the team was brought there by the two case officers, Irving M. Peggins and Hobart J. Vanderborn. Palmer's remained at the safe site until 16th of March, during which time he conducted the training in clandestine methods and techniques. This training included security cover compartmentation, clandestine communications, agent spotting, selection, recruitment, and management, and operational planning and reporting. The training included group discussion and participation in a series of appropriate operational situations, several problems, and daily physical training. During this 2-week period, either Peggins or Vanderborn visited the safe site every day, spending an average of 2 or 3 hours with the group in operational discussions and processing. During the week of 18th to the 23rd of March, both case officers spent a majority of the time with the group, debriefing them in detail on their operational contacts, working out operational details of their infiltration, and continuing their training on an informal basis. The week of 25th through the 30th of March was spent in the PM time training with emphasis on compass and map reading, including 2 night problems, and on weapons familiarization and firing. During the period under discussion, the AM Trunk group, where all LC fluttered, were assessed by the KU Roar assessment team, and then were given an initial series of immunizations, were issued clothing, were processed for alias documentation, and were processed for disguises, and were further processed on cover and finance problems. The results of the LC Flutter examinations were sent to headquarters under cover of UFGA 8111 on 13th of March of 1963. Based on Directorate, 26430, no further LC Flutter is planned at the present time. Transmitted as attachment A to this dispatch is Palmer's report on his training of the AM Trunk group. Transmitted as attachment B are the results of the assessments of the AM Trunk group, and transmitted as attachment C is the training report for the week of 25th of March. AM Trunk mission objective. I'm trying to see what that is. AM Trunk. Okay, it's just got a bunch of numbers. Okay, the Project AM Trunk mission objective is to overthrow the existing Cuban government by means of a conspiracy among high-level military and civilian leaders of the government, culminating in a coup d'etat, which will oust both Castro and the communists from power. A secondary and subordinate mission is to determine the climate prevailing among the populace in Havana for organizing resistance elements capable of either passive or active sabotage. This secondary mission is explanatory in nature only through the first phases of the project. In order to accomplish the foregoing missions, the operations has been split into 2 initial phases, which will be compartmented from each other. Phase 1 involves the black infiltration of AM Trunk 2 and 3 on the northeast coast of Havana province. These 2 individuals plan to go into Havana for a period of approximately 2 weeks and then exfiltrate black from the same point at which they infiltrated phase 2. Phase 2, involving AMIS 27 and AMIS 14, will consist of black infiltration through the Keys area on the north coast of Matanzas, These two individuals will likewise go into Havana for a period of several weeks and then exfiltrate Black. These two phases are discussed in detail in following paragraphs. Phase 1 and Phase 2 are preliminary infiltrations designed to set up infiltration, exfiltration routes and to make initial contacts among certain select high-level military figures in Havana. The following paragraphs discuss these phases are not designed to be operational, or discussing these phases are not designed to be operational plans. Detailed operational plans for each phase will be forwarded as developed. Phase 1, AM trunk personnel. AM trunk 2 is a 21-year-old Cuban who is mature for his years and in some degree experienced in clandestine operations. He attended Catholic Social University in Havana for 2 years, majoring in social studies. Prior to Fidel's takeover, A2 was allied to student elements of the Partido Auténtico, which upheld the Constitution of 1940. He supported the revolution against Batista till it became apparent that Castro had cast his lot for the communist regime. During his university years from 1959 to 1961, he was actively engaged in supporting anti-Castro groups with weapons and materials. Following the Playa Girón invasion, a great many in the Havana underground were rolled up, but A2 avoided compromise. He continued in this work through 1961 and finally left Cuba via air in January of 1962. Although A2 does not consider himself an ally of Cuba, he has been cooperative throughout his training. He's a pensive individual who displays good judgment. His present attitude towards Cuba appears to be one of wait and see. In the meanwhile, he is conscientiously applying himself in preparation for his mission. AM Trunk 3, a 22-year-old Cuban, in contrast to A2, is volatile, immature, and impulsive. On the other hand, he's quite loyal to A2, and his quick wit is appealing to his fellow team members. He worked under A2 in the underground as an action type, principally engaging in sabotage. His underground work began while he was in secondary school, when in 1958 he supported the revolution against Batista. In late 1960, he sided with the counter-revolutionaries and began full-time anti-Castro activities. After the crackdown following the Bay of Pigs invasion, he avoided detection and continued to engage in underground activities. Finally, when the situation became hopeless, he left Cuba by air for Miami in August 1962. While A3 has performed satisfactorily in his training up to date, his performance falls far short of the other three members. A3 feels QBARC should only function as support for this mission or this operation and should not interfere in the actual plans of the operation. Fortunately, his role in this operation is comparatively minor, and he appears willing to comply with whatever A2 decides. Nevertheless, direct control of A3 offers problems in the future. B, the task, conduct black infiltration landing at Punta La Hijera, AMS 3785I, and establish contact with the farm manager at A3's father's farm in the Galera section, AMS 3885. I guess these are coordinates. Yeah, okay. Looks like 993614. Okay. So 2, through contacts of A3, obtain transportation for A2 to Guanaba or Havana. Although not definite, A3 may remain at his father's farm and train assets in maritime reception in clandestine communications. Having completed this, he would then be exfiltrated at Punta Hijira. 4A2 will go to Havana and obtain safe house and operational support through his contacts. A2 will contact and develop two potential assets with high level connections within the rebel army. And then A2 will train, support, and operational assets in clandestine communications, as well as arrange for transportation for his exfiltration. Exfiltration of A2 at Punta La Hira or Puerta Escondido, AMS 3885, and then 2. Okay, I think I'll stop right here, and then that way I can continue on, hopefully uninterrupted. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.